Hi, welcome to the Frank Digital Q&A. Hi, we're the Jones Collective. I'm Jesse Britton, I'm one of the co-creators.
Hi, I'm Felix James Jones and I am also one of the co-creators.
I'm not part of the Jones Collective, but I'm Frank and I'm a co-creator.
And we've got some questions here. Question 1. Tell us a little bit about the Jones Collective and how you met Frank Thomas. That's one's for you both.
It's for you guys.
Jones Collective is mainly me and Jesse, but we work with a bunch of people on different projects. And I guess our work is mainly to do with real stories from across Wales, which are more, I guess we're more interested in sort of people's relationships with landscape, you know.
Yeah.
And then we met Frank. We met
at Team Panel.
Oh, and then you started doing spoken word stuff, and then that's how we started to really get to know each other. And then I started talking about Frank to you while we were up in Edinburgh, and Frank came up to Edinburgh to see Hiraeth, and then that's when the whole
That's when the magic happened.
Yeah.
Like this guy, he's made for us. Let's make it work.
Question 2. The film deals with Frank's struggle to make peace with the recent death of his father. Was grief a theme you were keen to explore from the outset?
I think no.
No.
Because my dad was still alive when we started making this project. So it sort of organically worked its way into the project and became basically my cheaper way of doing therapy. And just going like, I'm just gonna go and make a creative product about it. But
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't about grief as in like loss of a person, but I think we did sort of start with nature and feeling like society had sort of lost something of its connection with nature. So maybe there was maybe there was something to do with grief in that connection, but no. I don't think we named it, did we? We didn't say grief.
Yeah.
Can't remember what we said. Who knows?
Yeah, 6 years ago, who knows?
Yeah, just Frank.
Yeah.
Question 3. Tell us about the collaboration with Natural Resources Wales.
I'll go for that. So that collaboration started when there was a point in the making of when it was originally going to be a theatre show, when we decided it was going to be an outdoor piece and it needed to happen in forests. And then at that point we had a chat with Articulture, and they advised us to get in touch with Natural Resources Wales. So we got in touch with them, and they were totally on board with it, and they've been great for the whole journey. So we've seen so many forests with them. We've learned so much, haven't we? We've learned so much about the way that forestry is managed across Wales as well. And also we've learned a lot about, I can't remember the name of it now, but the ash dieback. We've learned a lot about ash dieback.
We've learned a lot about ash dieback. And they let us film in one of their forests for the film.
Yeah.
Which was very kind of them, because we put a bubble in. And it was a bit confusing for dog walkers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Thought that there was a
body
crime scene investigation going on.
Yeah.
I think we disappointed them. I think that there was a genuine excitement. I felt like they got the dogs so they could find a body.
Yeah.
And we'd let them down. They were like, "This is it. This is our moment. We're about to find one." And it's just a theatre show turned into a film.
Question 4. What was the biggest challenge in making the film?
I think probably that we never made a film. That's pretty high up there.
Yeah.
That was pretty high up there. Not knowing how to make a film. That's probably the big one. What was it for you guys?
Well, I mean, I remember even just on the actual first day of filming, I didn't realise that I was the one that had to say action and cut. So they were like, the whole crew were waiting, and you were waiting for me as well to shout action.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Then
anyone
you
Just hide.
yeah. So I just wasted 5 minutes of the first.
Yeah. And then the first time you did say action, the camera wasn't recording. And it was a shot where I had to run, so I sprang down, and then you were like, "No, we've got to go back and take it again, up the hill."
Yeah, and I kept forgetting to say cut at the end as well.
Yeah.
So there was that. But yeah, the biggest thing is that it was just translating from it being a theatre show into, which was supposed to be 60 to 70 minutes long, and it being a live experience for everyone, and translating that into 10, 11-minute film. That was condensing it down to that, it was actually quite an interesting process because you have to go down to the bare bones of it then.
Yeah. I think also just learning everybody's names, like as in not their names but what they do, because everybody's got a different title and everybody's got a different job. If you work with a producer in theatre and a producer in film, they're doing completely different jobs. They're not the same thing.
Different
A
words.
gaffer, and you're just trying to work. I was, trying to learn everybody's what their role was just from their name, and it doesn't sound like what it should be.
So, and you were the boom operator as well, weren't you?
I did a bit of boom work, yeah.
What was the hardest artistic choice you made in the making of the film at any stage of the production? Hardest choice?
I think probably the hardest decision was to accept that it wasn't going to become a theatre show. And that we weren't going to be able to give people the experience of being inside the bubble, because that was just such an incredible experience. And then it was really trying to work out whether we were going to be able to give a similar experience through film that still had the same feeling as it would as a theatre show, I guess. Question 6. Were there any on-set problems during filming, and how did you deal with them?
Loads. The film was one long on-set problem, I think. I guess most people, when they're making their sort of first short film, they don't film it on location in a wood with a team from Germany in a plastic bubble and fights and taxis and all of those. I think people probably keep it a bit easier, don't they? So I felt like the logistics of doing it during COVID, when I was awaiting a PCR result and had to sit inside a car and watch through a monitor, there was quite a lot. Quite a lot.
Yeah. That was really hard. That was really hard. Having, we were already a man down from somebody having COVID, and then Jesse potentially having COVID. You still don't know whether you had COVID.
I never got the PCR result, and I would avoid going to Shepton Mallet PCR testing centre as a result of that. But it's in England, so
but yeah, it was having to run a whole site-specific sort of experience, but through film, where we're lugging really heavy equipment. When it started raining on the first day, there was mud everywhere, and one of the directors had to be stuck in a car for the whole time. Yeah.
How differently did the film turn out compared to what you originally envisioned? Frank, you can have that one.
Massively so. Massively different. I think there was always moments we knew were going to be in there. We always knew mountains was a key part of it. We knew the bubble in the wood was a key part of it. We knew the white Tyvek and the green woods and all those staple parts of it. But like you said earlier, we've got like a 70-minute theatre show, and we're trying to combine that into a 10-minute film. And we had multiple strands that we just had to cut, and I think it was a bit of a gamble that we tried to decide, okay, let's keep this thread in, let's keep this story thread in, let's keep this narrative arc. And slowly we had to start cutting strings, realising we just can't fit all of that information into it. So I think the end product, I'm really proud of it. I think we've done so much work to get it there. But I mean, even just the script of what we thought we were technically able to film, we didn't get to film everything that we wanted to film.
Question 8. What did you learn from making the film?
Ash Dieback.
Yeah. I think the process goes backwards for me. So theatre, you're creatively playing with stuff until you're finally in front of an audience, and then you do the thing. Whereas for us, it felt like, okay, we're putting the performance in first in front of a camera, and then we're creatively playing in the editing room, and we did a lot of back and forth and working out what was what, and usually that's sort of the other way around. So for me, it was a really backwards process, but like I enjoyed it, it was great fun. But
the painful lesson of if you didn't shoot it, you can't use it.
Yeah. You can find out more about Frank on the National Theatre Wales website.